What it do, E-World? Good morning time, good afternoon time, good evening time, whatever the case may be in your part of the world. Trying to get this mic situated right by my mouth. Alright, so I'm going to be working on my 12 volt DC to DC step down that I'm going to be running off of this pack, which is a 36 volt pack. What I'm getting ready to do right now is put some XT60s on it so I can quick disconnect. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is first let me put a little flux on this connector. Flux definitely helps the solder flow. If you don't know, I ain't gonna be doing no soldering lessons today, but yeah, if you don't know, flux definitely helps the solder flow for sure. So let's get on ready. We're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of solder on these tips. Just to get them pre-tinned. Make sure I get this camera view right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna keep checking on this camera angle. Make sure all that's good. I don't need to tip those like that. I'm gonna go ahead and put solder on these ends first. Alright. Then we're gonna take our little tip. And yeah, these things get they get hot. So I'm gonna hold it with these needle nose. Okay, oops. Alright. So that looks kind of good. I don't think I need to do any more. Nothing. My heat shrink already. I hate that. But it was so close to it that it got hot off the muscle. Let's see if we can get it on there. I don't know. It's been kind of shrunk pretty good already. Don't take much. Anyway, that ain't too bad. I got my fan blowing up there. So try to block my fan a little bit. Terrible camera angle. I just saw that. Couldn't see. But anyway, so we got that end on there on my battery. Then we're gonna put some ends on this. Try to even these wires out a little bit. All right. Listen at that. 600,000 views. People want to hear the Sasquatch root. Okay. I'm going to put a connector up here. And we're going to do the same thing. Go ahead and put some solder on these connectors already. Right now. Put some flux on it. This is flux paste, by the way. And I've had this so long. That's all that's left. But I'm talking about, man, maybe about 10 years. Maybe longer than that. All right. Cool. Go ahead and get some heat shrink. Let's see. Do I even need that? Cause yeah, I'll put it on. Cause I actually have the little end caps that go on there. I just couldn't put it on that last one because it was too short. So, oops. I'll scrap that. All right. Put some heat shrink on there. Slide it down far enough so it don't start shrinking, pre-shrinking like it did last time. Put the little cover on. Oh, wait a minute. I'm putting it on the wrong wires. Duh. That's what happens, man. Yeah. Not paying attention to rushing. These are the wires that I'm soldering. Putting on the wrong damn wires. Okay. Alright. First we're gonna do the hot side. Look at that, my tip thing got messed up again. Hold on for a minute. Yeah, the Sierra sounds. I heard that. That's a pretty wild video. Damn, tips ain't worth a damn. They ain't worth a damn. Let's see. Yeah, tip is terrible. There we go. Okay, we are back. One side, let's flip it around. To the ground side. Do it again. Let's do it again. Okay. So that's done. Slide heat shrink up. Try to get this camera angle right. Damn fan. Oh, I got that fan blowing. Let me see. I'm gonna turn my fan. At least angle it down. It's been making it hard for me to start it too. Damn fan blowing up here. I need that fan. It's hot. Alright. So we got a connector on our battery, and we got a connector on whatchamacallit. And let's see. Do I have another set? Because I need to put another male and female. I'm pretty sure I got a female. Where are all my males? You know what, I'm gonna have to do that another way. Not gonna have a quick release on that. Of course, I ain't gonna need a quick release on that. Anyway, let me show you guys where I'm gonna mount this thing. I think it's a pretty good spot. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Alright, so as you can see here in my frame, there's a hole down the bottom here, at the bottom of the frame. So I'm going to put this on the outside as well, because these things get hot too. That's why it has a heat sink. And I'm going to mount it through the bottom like that. And I'm going to run a screw up so that that is underneath the bottom of my frame, just like that. My 12-volt step down, and it'll be nice and cool down there, and it's waterproof. It will be fine. All right, so that's gonna go there. Then my battery that I'm using, I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna strap that in the back of my frame right there, just like that, because when I put my big battery in, there's a gap right here, so I have room. So this is going to be strapped right there, and my 12-volt step down is going to be mounted on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and run some screws, and yeah. So let's try to do that. Let's see if I got some little self-tappings out here. Now I'm gonna have to go and get some at the house. Biggest. Let's see. Nope, you guys are gonna have to stand by. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and get some self-tappings. When I come back, that's gonna be screwed up. Guys, so I'm back, and yes, I have mounted the DC to DC converter underneath my frame, right there. That's how it looks from the front. That's mounted there. I have the XT60s on it. And the XT60s will plug right up to each other, and then this is going to be my 12-volt out. Now, coming from my 12-volt out, I'm going to wire up a relay to operate my lights. And let me show you how a relay works. This is a relay, okay? Now, we're only going to be using 4 poles of this relay, and I'm gonna unplug it. Make sure, let's see, there's that way, like that. Okay, so the only terminal we're not going to be using on this relay is 87A. 87A, which is this yellow wire. So what we can do is we'll go ahead and cut that. Oops, you can't even see. I'm glad I checked that out. All right, so let me go back to this. You might not have saw it. So this is the relay. There are 5 terminals on this relay, and they're labeled. All right, and this is the harness for the relay. Now, terminal 87A is the one directly in the middle. We're not going to be using that one, and that is the yellow wire. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the yellow wire about there. So maybe in the future, if we need it for another reason, it's still there, but we have no purpose for that. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. Okay. And we'll put a zip tie around that, and that'll be good to go. All right. Now, the ones we are going to use, we're going to use 86, 85, 30, and 87. Now, terminals 30 and 87 are going to run your load, or whatever it is that you're trying to make connection. All right, so in other words, let me put this on there so you can see. 30 and 87 would be the blue wire and the red wire. So when our relay opens and closes, it will be connecting and disconnecting the blue and the red wire. Meaning, if I got 12 volts running through this wire, when the relay is activated, it will be connecting whatever I have on the load side, which is going to be a light. Okay, I'm going to have lights connected, and when I close the switch and the relay engages, it's going to put 12 volts to the light. This is basically just the switch. These are the 2 terminals of the switch, 87 and 30. Blue wire and a red wire. It's going to open and close, open, close, open, close. All right. Like I said, one side is going to have 12 volts. The other side is going to my lights. All right. You got that? Now, the other 2 poles is, I believe it's 86 and 85. 86 and 85 are going to need 80. Let me see, which one is that? That is 85. 85 is going to be ground. This goes to your ground, okay? 86 is going to be your signal input to activate the relay. So in other words, when 86 gets 12 volts, the relay will close. When 86 doesn't get 12 volts, the relay will open. So the status of this relay with no signal is normally open. It's normally open because when there's no signal, the circuit is open. When 86 gets signal, the circuit closes. Okay? So we're going to have from our switch up on our handlebars, our switch on our handlebars is going to go to 12 volts. But it can be a very low current 12 volts. That's what makes relays great. This input signal can be as low as 5 milliamps. 5 milliamps of 12 volts. When this gets 12 volts, this relay will close and it will make connection between 87 and 30, the blue and the red wire. Now, the good part about a relay is not only can you use 86 12 volts to operate this relay, you can connect this relay, you can connect 86 to constant 12 volts, and you can use the ground to operate the relay. So whenever this harness gets ground, the relay will open and close. And what that can do in a circuit like your brake wire, your low brake coming from your Sabaton, when you squeeze your brake handle, that sends a ground signal. What you would do is run this ground to your low brake wire. And if you were hooking up some brake lights, and when you squeeze your brake handle, it would send a ground signal to this relay, and the relay would close, and you would have your brake lights come on, because this would go to 12 volts and this would go to your brake light. So every time your low brake engages and gave it ground, this relay would close. Okay, so this ground and this white are the signal wires to activate the relay. The blue and the red is 12 volts and whatever you want to get 12 volts. And it doesn't have to be 12 volts. You could hook this up to 72 volts, you know, but actually these relays run off of 12 volts. So you need 12 volts to activate it. However, you can connect on your switch side whatever voltage you wanted. If you had something you wanted to run off of 76 volts, you could do that. Hook 76 volts to the red, the blue to whatever you wanted to get the 76 volts. Like say your headlights. If you got a headlight that can run off of 76 volts, the red would go to your source voltage, 76 volts. The blue would go to your headlight. Ground would still go to ground. And your signal wire would have to get 12 volts. This is a 12 volt relay. So you can't run 72 volts to activate the relay. It still needs 12 volts. However, whatever you pass through it can be whatever voltage, it doesn't matter. But this relay needs 12 volts to operate. So I'm pretty sure that sounded a little confusing, but you'll get the trick of it. So how I'm going to connect this relay right now in order to run my lights. This is going to go to ground, as I said. This is going to go to 12 volts coming from my step down. And this is going to go to my lighting system. This white wire, 86, is going to go to my switch, getting 12 volts. All right, that's how we're going to connect that. So let's go over here, and I'm not even going to solder these. I'm just going to twist them, put heat shrink on them, and call it a day. Get some heat shrink. Let me get that, and let's go ahead and hook this up to 12 volt outside. That's 12 volts. So basically we can tie, well, no, let me can't do that way. Let me just go ahead and this 12 volts. Put my heat shrink on. That's why it's got a little bit of solder on it, so we'll cut that little bit of solder off. And these wires aren't necessary to solder. It's not that serious. It's just running 12 volts. Hopefully I didn't use a big enough piece of heat shrink. I needed a bigger, let me put a bigger piece of heat shrink, making it hard on myself and don't have to be. right. All right. Pretty sure I'm going to run out of fluid doing this. My ground. Go ahead and hook up the ground. All right, we got our ground hooked up. Alright. Alright, and I'm gonna have to run my switch wire down from up there, so stand by for a minute. Actually, I'm just gonna run a wire up there to my switch. Let's see, I don't need to use this big thick wire, hell no. Let's see what I got over here. Here we go. No, I can't do that either. Okay. I have to use this. This will work. And I'm going to extend both of those wires because they're definitely too short. So this white wire, once again, is going to go to my switch that's getting 12 volts. And this blue wire is going to go to my lights. Pretty sure now that we're using smaller wire, I can use this red heat shrink. It's hot as shiznick out here. I ain't got my fan blowing on me. I'm melting over this joint. Anybody knows me knows I hate the heat. I need AC, AC, AC. What I do to do these videos? Kill my damn self. Alright. Come on, come on. Just let me finish this last. And yeah, I got a new heat gun coming. Should be here today. My damn heat gun died. And I wouldn't have to do it like this. And I ordered another one, and it should be en route. Alright, there we go. Our relay is wired up. So I will put some zip ties on it. So we'll go ahead and zip tie that yellow wire up in there. There we go. And let's see. My signal wire, since I made both of these wires blue, I'm going to tie a knot in it so I know which one that is when I run them up there, so I won't be trying to figure that out. So this is my switch wire with the knot. Both of these wires got to run up to the up there. So let's go ahead and route those wires up there. They got some nice little holes. Yeah, these tubes. It's nice the way they got this frame set up. Tied the damn knot in it though, but yeah, these are. I know you can't see. Let me see if I can zoom in. But in these frames, that if you can see it, see that little hole right there? It's got little holes and holes against all the cross members. So I can run these wires up through the cross members and they'll be neatly out the way. I was getting ready to wire tie them down, but I don't have to because I didn't see that. And that's pretty cool. Alright. Okay guys, so we're back. Even though I ain't go nowhere. So I got my headlight. Then I'm going to now be running off of 12 volts and hopefully that'll be bright enough. And my fiber optic transformer that runs off of 12 volts. And my 12 volt wire, switched 12 volt wire coming from my relay. I'm going to put some heat shrink on that. And I got the headlight and the transformer in parallel. We're going to connect that to our switch 12 volts. And yeah, go ahead, heat shrink that up. Hopefully with that fan blowing, I can still, that goddamn fan is gonna be cutting. Let's see. All right, there's that. Now, what I'm going to have to do also, they both need a ground, and I forgot to run a ground wire, but we're going to do that. Run another ground wire, and that needs to go down to the ground that's on our relay. We just need a 12 volt ground, basic ground done. So, see, we got another piece of wire here we'll use for ground. And would have been nice if I had a wire that had all that on one damn wire. But anyway, I know what, I'm gonna run the ground down the other side. So it had its own side. Man, having a hard time getting this wire through this big old hole. If it had some hair around it, it'd probably be alright. Alright, there we go. Alright. So it's gonna be our ground wire. On the heat shrink. Probably don't need all that wire on there. We'll cut a little bit of that excess off, but actually, yeah, we'll cut some off. Alright. Okay, bam. That's done. We gotta run this ground wire all the way down to the bottom and tap back into our ground. On our relay. Alright. Alright, and we got one more wire here, and that needs to go to our switch. Damn it, I needed another wire too. Okay, all good. We'll do that too. We'll do that too. That's why it would have been nice to have a regular old red and black power wire instead of running all these damn single wires. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know if you guys can see any of this shit. I sure hope you can. And it don't matter as long as I'm telling you what's happening, but I would like you to see it too, though. And it's a little tight. It's a little tight up in here. Okay, bam. All right, we got our ground. Let's connect our ground up first before we run our 12-volt wire. So shit doesn't get real confusing. Since I got all this goddamn wire now. Get this out the way. That's our transformer. All right, here's our ground wire. We're just going to tap into our ground wire right here on our relay. That's all we got to do. And actually, I can do it the easy way. Yeah, I could do it the easy way. Sure, I'm gonna do it the easy way. Why not? And that would be just put it on our ground terminal on the relay, stick the relay back in there. And I'm going to do the same thing with the one that needs 12 volts. I got to run this 12 volt wire. Just like I had to run that ground wire. Let me back this camera angle up a little bit so you can see. Even though you probably have no clue as to what's going on now. But I'm just running the 12 volt wire. Because our switch on our handlebars needs a 12 volt input to send 12 volts to our relay. So that has to be getting a 12 volt input. So we're going to run 12 volts to our switch from our step down. Same 12 volts that's at our relay. That's all. That's it. I'm trying to confuse you. But yeah. Your switch needs 12 volts in order to send a 12 volt signal. That's all it is. All it is. And that would be 12 volt right there. And we can stick our relay back in. We got a ground and a 12 volts. Bam, just like that. Now all I gotta do is hook this to the other side of the switch and we're golden. Make this a little longer up here. See where I said when you filming videos, work videos is a pain in the ass. There's so many moving around the camera angles and shit. And I'm using a damn chest mount, which should make it easier. But still, I always got to keep looking to make sure shit is in frame. And even if it's in frame, you can't hardly see all the time. I really need somebody filming where they can be putting the camera right on what I'm doing, because I can't do that shit and do the work at the same damn time, man. I could, but you know, that's what I said. You know how long it takes to do that? Stop and move the camera and do all that every time. Every time you're changing camera angles. I hope my heat gun is getting ready to pull up. Okay, there's that. Alright, we got the switch hooked up. Now, all we gotta do is plug our step down back up. Bam. And there we go. There we go. All right, so right now our headlights just hooked up. See that? And that is running through our relay. I don't know if you can hear the relay clicking. Not only that, our transformer for our frame lights comes on. There's a delay because that's a transformer. We turn it off. When I turn it on, there's a delay. This is a little transformer right there for our fiber optic lights. So when I turn it on, there's a delay, but then it comes on. All that's running through this relay. So let me explain that once again. Got a 12-volt step down on this 36-volt battery. All right. Relay is an electronic switch that pin 87 and pin 30 are opening and closing. It's a normally open position when there's no signal. When it gets 12 volts, then it closes. When it's closing, it's connecting pin 30 and 87, 12 volts to my transformer for my fiber optics lights, and it's sending 12 volts to my headlight. That's all it is. However, that current is running through this relay, not through the switch. The switch is just sending 12-volt signal to the relay. You would burn up that switch if I was trying to run all that straight through the switch. I think this little transformer pulls about 10 amps. 10, 15 amps possibly. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, it's too much. So that is it as far as wiring up the light part. I will be strapping my battery up like that and strapping my relay in here somewhere. I'm not going to put that back together yet because my next video is going to be bypassing the BMS and net. Alright, y'all. So that's it for the light part. As you can see, it's working all through this relay. Go ahead and put some more wire ties on this for those two loose wires. And I didn't have to tap directly into the wires to get my 12-volt signal, as I just put them on the terminals. Made it a whole lot easier. I didn't have to do any stripping or any of that. You know, it's a very low signal, very low power. So to tap directly into the wire definitely wasn't necessary. And our wiring is still pretty clean, and our power wires are running through the frame, those frame holes. So not too bad. You can see the wires, like I said, running through the frame. Be nice if I had one piece wire, hot and ground, but I got 4 single wires. I had to use what I got. You gotta use what you got. That's what I had. So that primary wire. Anyway, there it is.